Into week 5, our recovery week. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. For those that have been here before, welcome back. My name is Des Trindle and this channel is here for two reasons. One, to keep me a little bit accountable in my training towards Ironman Australia 2025, and secondly, hopefully just to give back a little bit to the community of triathlon, which has been so good to me for the last 30 odd years. So let's firstly kick off with reviewing my week 4. It went not too bad. The only day I had a bit of an issue with was the Tuesday, where I was feeling a bit unwell, so I did take the Tuesday off. However, we kicked the week off on Monday with a 2,000 metre swim. The swim was pretty good. What I did was 300 metres warm up. I do 10 50s with a 30-second rest, just focusing on form. Starting to feel a little bit better in the water, which is good. In the afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, I did 1 hour 20-minute run. A little bit higher in the heart rate. I was 137 average. I probably should have slowed that down a bit and been a little bit more disciplined staying into that zone 2. I was creeping up to the higher end of it, which is probably not ideal for this time. Thursday morning, I did 1 hour 30 on full gas, so inside on the trainer, and a 20-minute run off the bike at 129 average heart rate. So that wasn't too bad. The 1 hour 30, I averaged 122 heart rate, only 134 watts. So I'd hate to work out how little that is watts per kilo, as everyone seems to be expressing these days. Friday morning, I backed the bike up. I did 2 hours and 30 minutes on the tri bike out on the road, and down to sort of Nudgee, back around, then back up to Redcliffe and back down. Felt pretty good on the tri bike, still a little bit tight in the shoulders. I have since widened my aero bars out a little bit. I think I had them a little bit too narrow, and I'll keep tweaking that setup sort of each ride as we go along. Friday afternoon, nothing there. Saturday I did something different. Saturday I did a 2k warm-up run down to our local park run at Redcliffe, and then a 5k tempo, holding, averaging 146 heart rate for that, which is good because that's sort of about my half Ironman heart rate pace, up to a max of 150. After that run, I just did a 2k run walk warm down, so by the time I got to the last 600-700 meters, I was literally walking and just making sure I warmed down and loosened everything up nicely. Saturday afternoon, back in the pool. This time I just did a straight 2k swim, not really looking at hitting any sort of time as far as per hundreds go, more just staying relaxed, keeping my heart rate under that 130 mark, and it did creep up every sort of 500 meters. It sort of crept up until I finished the swim at about 128 average, 126 to 128 average heart rate, so not too bad. Weekly summary, I ended up with 3 swims in. I only had the 2 bikes, which came to around the 4-hour mark, and I got 4 runs in, which is about 3 hours and 20. So all up, 9 hours and 20 training, which I was quite happy with what I did, considering I had that Tuesday off as well. And I spent Sunday out at the races doing some officiating, so that day was pretty much gone. Week 5, so if we look at what I'm planning for this week, this is a bit of a recovery week. Now what I mean by that is, if we look at week 1 through to generally week 3, but this week I did a 4-week block of build because my week 3 was a bit down. What I try to do is go 1 week build, next week a little bit more, and next week a little bit more, and then generally it'll be the 4th week we'll go back to what the first week's volume was, and that's the week I find that I get recovery. And then when I start the next build phase, I will start at what the week 2 was in that first period, and then go week 2, which is my week 1 in the second build, and then so on until the 4th week is recovery again. Slowly just increasing that volume. At this stage I'm in a base phase, so I'm not really throwing too much interval type work in, although in the second base now I will start integrating a little bit more of the tempo stuff. Week 5, I'm kicking off with a 2,000 metre swim. We're Monday today, so we're the start of week 5. We're 195 days out from Ironman Australia and 153 days out from Hell of the West, so we've still got quite a long way to go. So I'll kick off today with a 2,000 meter swim. I'm going to repeat the swim what I did last week. I'm still trying to build those 100s, just get comfortable in the water again, just getting a feel for that water, not increasing the distance out too much this week. This afternoon I will head out, somewhere Monday afternoon, I'll head out for a 30-minute run. I'm going to run down to the local oval here where they have a 400 meter track on, and just do some 400s, just not really timing the 400s, but just concentrating on form. On the park run there was a few photos taken, and I noticed that I'm landing way too far forward in front of my body, and it's just sort of decelerating me. So I'm going to try to work on that a little bit, bring that sort of landing flow, or that foot landing placement back under that body line. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. Tomorrow morning I'm looking at doing a 90-minute out on the tri bike and a 20-minute run off the bike again. I'm going to stay all zone 2 for that and just roll along. Wednesday I'm literally repeating Monday, so we're looking at a 2,000 meter swim again and a 30-minute run. What I'll do with the run this time is I'll do probably 4 30-second strides in the middle of the run at some point and see how that feels, and just once again concentrating on that upright and holding form during those 30 seconds. Friday I'm going to have a rest day this week. Saturday I'm going to do the park run again, so I'm going to do the 2k warm up. I'll do the 5k as a tempo, and I'm going to stick to that heart rate protocol. So let it build that first k into that 145 to that 150 heart rate mark, and then hold that for the remainder of the run, and just see how the times improve over the next few weeks. And hopefully if I can work on my form a little bit, that will improve as well as my fitness level. Saturday I will throw in another 2,000 meter swim, and it'll just be a straight swim again. I don't mind those. You put on the shock swims I think they're called, listen to some music, and the form goggles are great because you can sort of watch your heart rate for that. Make sure you're not creeping up into those 140 marks, staying in that 120 to 130 zone marks. Sunday will be a 2-hour on the bike plus a 20-minute run. So this week's going to be a shorter week. It's going to be the recovery week before I begin into that build, or that second build phase of this base part of my program. Anyway, I hope everyone's had a good week out there. That's my summary of what the week was and what the week is planning to be, and let's hope we can all stick to it. Stay safe, everyone.